Look at that. That's a beautiful joint.
Hi everybody, just joining these two rustic boards together, and I'm going to show you a little trick if you haven't got a surface planer, or as it's known in the US, a jointer, to get a nice straight edge on these boards so they go together nice. I've tried to do this freehand on the saw, but I ought to know before I tried it. It doesn't work. You end up with a gap, if you can see that. Here, there's quite a gap, because as you go through with the fence will follow the shape of the board. So if the board's bent, it will continue being bent until you've got no timber left. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the sliding groove in the table saw, which I'll show you in a minute. We've got this thin lat which fits in that groove on the table saw, and we're going to temporarily tack this to the back of this wood. We're going to use a straight edge as well, so we don't get this sort of bent because it's only thin. So we're going to pin it on the back of here temporary, because we're not going to see the back of the board on this unit when it's finished. And then we're going to slide it through using that groove to get a nice straight cut. We're going to repeat the process on this board, and then we should have a nice straight joint where it goes together lovely. So let's see if it works. I've got this piece of oak, which I know is straight because it was done on a surface planer, and we're going to use that like that to create a straight edge. And then I'm just going to use my pin gun, and I'm just going to put a few pins in this. As I say, you're not going to see this when it's done anyway, because it's the back of the unit, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to put a few pins in this temporary to hold it while I push it through the saw, and then we should get a straight cut. So I'm going to put it forward. You don't need to go stupid with it. So I'm going to reuse this strip. So I'm going to push this one through now, and then we'll repeat the process on this board, and we should have a straight cut. So this is the groove I was talking about earlier. This is the groove we're going to use. This is what we're going to slide our piece of timber in, and then that should create a straight cut, rather than following a guide on a table saw. If your timber's bent, you'll find as it goes through, it'll just keep coming out bent, so you'll never ever straighten your timber unless you've got a surface planer. I've taken the crown guard off here just for filming purposes. Always make sure you've got a crown guard on. I've just taken this one off just so that you can see what's happening better on the camera. Okay, so that's one done. So now I can remove this lat off this timber and fasten it on the other piece of timber using the oak again to get a nice straight edge, and then we'll get that one cut exactly the same. Okay, so here we go with our second piece. Okay, so this time when we bring the two together, we should have a lot better joint. And look at that. That's a beautiful joint. That is bang on. So I hope that's helped you. So remember, don't use your fence. If your timber's bent and you use a fence on a table saw, you'll find that it'll just keep following the bend in the timber. You need to break that connection between the fence and the shape of your timber. So how we do that is fasten that strip on temporarily, use the groove in the table saw bench. So in that way, you're going to end up with a straight line replicated on the edge of your board, which means you're going to get a lot better joined. And if you've liked this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you lot on the next one.